All right. So finally, almost like 2 weeks later.
My bad.
What, what episode 13?
Sure.
Episode
13?
13?
Damn, I haven't been on here since 9.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hey,
Man, I don't know where you've been at.
grinding.
Nope.
All right, call me
No, I'm
out.
playing. Yeah, so, yeah, we're going to talk about patience. I know this has been, how can I put this into a better term? A very stressful factor, especially when you're watching it from like the outside in and seeing like the trials and errors from like people that have started trading and they going with it and the emotions all coming into it, and they keep forgetting that the market moves in three different directions. Like that's it. It either could go all the way up, it could go sideways, it could go all the way down. But if you held on to it, you know where the market's going, you could still make money. And I feel like I'm gonna speak behalf of like the students. Like that's the reason why like I don't answer like 75% of the time. Not just because if we're in profit, but like even though if we do lose, like like could be very transparent, be like, yeah, this is what happened, go over it, and then make sure that doesn't happen again, right? So, and seeing where people don't have the patience and want to get into the trade, or they're in profit and they're not thinking about just closing out their positions, right? And just thinking about way too much, like you want like the market, if you're looking for an entry and you want the market to come, let the market come to you. It's going to come, right? When it comes to you, that is where you want to react. Because there's a lot of people that just always chasing for trades, always chasing it.
Yeah.
Like every single day, they got to get into a trade every single day. If the trade does not make sense, don't enter it. If this is a pair that you lost so much money, then back test it. So allow the market to move, then react, follow your confirmations, execute. Literally, trading's like a damn video game. When people say like I don't sleep, no, I really don't sleep. Even if I'm not trading, I'm still on the charts. I like just to see the movements actually happening, the reaction, the rejection. Like if you're not putting the chart time, you're not gonna get patience.
Facts.
And I can't stress this enough, because like a lot of people say like they're studying, you're not studying. Then what are you sacrificing?
Right.
If you're not doing any of these things, you're not going to able to have patience when it comes to want to becoming a swing trader, want to become the person that wants to be trading once a month, trading on the higher time frames. That is my ultimate goal. I'm going to trade only on the week time frame and forget about it. Trade once a month.
Hey, and I mean, really, when you're talking about patience, there's two things that really come to mind. When you have no patience, to me, that just signifies no confidence in the trade. So if you don't have any confidence, then you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
All you're doing is just either taking a signal or getting into the trade blindly, which if you're doing that, you might as well be set up to fail, because you don't know really what's going on at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it becomes frustrating at certain points, answering those questions, because it's the same one over and over, because everybody wants to know, are we still holding? Are we still holding, right?
Yeah.
Or, oh, do we move the stop loss, or what do we move? What do we move? What do we do? If you're panicking, you don't have confidence. If you don't have patience, you don't have confidence. Confidence is what you need in this game to actually succeed. And everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
So working on that is the biggest thing as a beginner, which is why I stress, utilizing demo.
It comes into the mindset. Like trading is not meant for the weak. I don't care how enticing it is and how much money you could make. If you do not have a strong mindset, the market is going to correct you, and it's going to teach you a valuable lesson over and over and over. And then that's the reason why 95% of the people are continuously to keep failing, and they never go back and figure out why.
Right.
Because you're not getting the mindset right.
Right.
And when the mindset's not right, how could you be patient?
Right. So if you analyze the trade and like, oh, I hit stop loss on this, what is it that caused me to hit stop loss?
Yeah.
Was I not patient enough and I didn't let it make its actual move? Or am I just not confident overall? I keep going back to the confidence portion, because everything revolves around that.
Yeah.
This, like you said, this is a shark business. This is a shark market. Like, I don't care what anybody says. The market is there to take your money. So you need to be there to take the market's
Yeah,
money.
like the odds are not
Right?
against. It's not on your favor.
Nope. So be that
So-
1 or 2% that succeeds. And referring back to a trade that, like you're talking about, like if it just continues to rob you over and over and over again. To me, so mine with that was EU.
Yeah.
I hate me. I hate EU. So I still hate EU, but you know what? My relationship's getting a little stronger because I've gone back and I
Yeah,
said,
like,
you know
you gotta-
what?
yeah,
You took
it's-
this. I'm
yeah.
getting it back.
It's just like any typical relationship. Like, are you going to continue to be in a toxic relationship over and over, or are you going to learn valuable lessons from it?
Right.
So when you learn from it and then you're like, all right, this is what I need to fix. This is what I could be a better person. This is how I'm showing growth. If you're not journaling throughout the whole process when you're trying to learn the skill set, then you're really not taking it as seriously as you want it to be.
Right.
You don't want to be that person that be like, yeah, by 2040, I'm going to retire my parents, and then where's the game plan? Where's the blueprint?
Right.
And it doesn't lead to self-growth, because you
Right.
have to, like the markets is going to teach you how to grow,
Right.
but you're going to have to realize when it comes to the wins and losses, how am I going to react to it? Most people, when I posted that, when losing 245K in one day, and everyone's like, man, I'm sorry. I'm like, for what?
Right.
I was smiling when I did.
Because all you're going to do, you're going to take a lesson from that.
Yeah, it's a lesson.
Yeah.
It was like great.
If
I
you don't-
pat myself in the back.
If you don't take a lesson, then you really took a loss.
Yeah.
And you might as well either shut that pair down or shut down completely and revisit it at a different time once you get that stronger mindset.
Yep. And that's only facts. Like, once you have that patient, it becomes looking at the markets, you just completely look at it differently. Your whole viewpoint changes. You start doubting yourself and getting into a trade. Like, great example, talking about patience, like the XP 500 today, and gave it out for a sell. If people followed on the box strategy, if it went up to the most previous wick rejection, and then you would have capitalized on it. So if you were using risk management, you could have still rewarded that drawdown position and rewarded yourself big time.
Right. And
that is where the patient comes in, So like, I'm not like getting into a trade and I'm watching it like a hawk. Like I'll take like, a couple of hours and like, yeah, I take a glance at it. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm in profit. And then, of course, and then you want to adjust that position, modify it, and put a stop profit, set it, forget it.
Yeah, and it always kind of revolves around how I always say this is 80% mental, 20% knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
The knowledge portion, whether it's fundamentals or technicals, they don't change. The technicals are there.
Yeah.
Like, you see the trends, you see the highs, the lows, right? That doesn't change at all. The 80%, the biggest portion of it, is where your mindset comes into play.
Yeah.
So if you can't take the monetary loss, treat it as a lesson, go back and retest and build it, and like think about back testing as being in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're sitting there, your candles and your moves, that's like bench pressing. You're making your mind stronger over and over and over again the more that you back test. And if something doesn't look good, well, move on to there's another pair. You don't need to trade every pair.
Yeah.
But you can trade one or two here and there, but find the one that fits your liking, whether it's high volatility or slow movements, whatever you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Building that confidence is huge.
You just got to build relationships with the pairs that you like to make money with. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what currency pair that you're getting yourself involved with. The outcome is always going to be green.
Yeah.
Seeing that lit blue screen on your MT4 and seizing that moment. Be like, yeah, this is how I rewarded myself for being patient. This is how I could able to pay my bills for the week because I was patient. Guess what? I gave myself a raise this week because I was patient. I wasn't being greedy. I stuck to my confirmations. I got into the trades that I want to get involved with. I set myself up for an example of the pairs I was out looking for the rest of the week, and then you stick to it.
Yeah, and if it's not confidence that's taking you out of a trade, it's over leveraging. So if you stick to the correct risk management, who cares if you get stop loss?
You can't lose. I'd rather lose on being not over leveraging and have multiple L's than rather take a fat L on over leveraging and
blow
not
your
knowing
account.
the outcome out of it, and to be dealing with it, and then not being patient, and then that just completely just washes away, because like now you're dealing with an over leverage trade. But like I'm also gonna go back to like if you've been trading for a while and you know the risk, then that's understandable. But for the new incomers, right, and you're over leveraging, you're taking away your confidence, you're taking away being patient. Now you're just focusing on the money aspect. You're like, man, I want to get out of this drawdown. I want to get out of this drawdown. You start talking to yourself, and then you see the next person right next to you. They're like, man, what the hell is this dude saying right now?
Right.
Like, he's really talking to his phone right now? Like, trust me, I think every single person has done that. I've talked to my phone many times when I was the only person in the room.
Yep.
And I kind of learned from that habit.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like you learn these habits, but when you apply it and you do it over and over again and let it become a routine,
Right.
there's your patience that you're building up.
And if you do it over and over again and the outcome is different, whether it's a slight difference or whether it's a major difference, then you're growing.
Yeah.
But if you're not taking that as a lesson and you're doing the same thing over and over again and you don't learn from it, then that's the definition of insanity. Like, you're actually insane on the charts, because the more and more you think something's going to change without making a change within yourself, you're expecting a different outcome, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy. It all starts within in your own self. You know, sometimes you said it multiple times. Talking to yourself helps out a lot. It does with the emotion part of it. But you know what? The actual monetary loss should turn around and make you a stronger person overall. So it's kind of twofold overall. Looking at all of that and looking at the journey, like, it's funny when you've got to a point, whether it's 6 months, every few months, I kind of like to self-evaluate and say, okay, where was I 3 months ago? Where was I 6 months ago? Where was I a year ago? And holy shit, it's a whole different perspective that I'm in now. Whole different perspective, whole different mindset, you know, where some people may be in the same one, but when they're in that same mindset and they're trading, that tells me that they're signal taking. That's it. So, which, I mean, that's their choice to do. If they want to do it, that's up to them. But me personally, I have that hunger to know why did something happen, and being able to identify it on myself and say, all right, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make something different on my own.
Yeah, you just got to do different things to get better results. You know, you got to try different habits, different confirmations, you know, fit something that actually works for you. Just because that person did it well doesn't mean you're going to do it well. You know, everyone has a whole different viewpoint when it comes to learning or taking advice. A lot of people are very stubborn and they just refuse to learn, you know. But if you're not making any changes, then you're going to be in that same spot repeatedly. And that makes no sense. Because when it comes to Forex, it's about growth. If you're not about growth and you're not about bettering yourself, it's going to be very, very challenging. When it comes to looking at a trade and you finally get to that stage where you actually build your account. And then, of course, you could risk it as long as you know what you're doing and holding yourself accountable for it. But at the end of the day, it's your fingers that's pressing that MT4 buttons.
Absolutely. I mean, that's accountability, being, you know, responsible for your own moves on your own phone, your own trade, your own account. That's all you. You know, people might be able to give you numbers. They might be able to say, enter here, or exit here. But that's up to you to make that choice of what you're doing, which brings up an interesting thing for me when we're talking about risk management. We're talking about lot sizes and everything and mindset of being strong. I actually had a topic that got brought up, I want to say about a week ago, where people were losing on trades that were based on signals. But we had, a winning record last week? We have a winning record damn near every week, right? But to me, it's like if you've blown your account and if you've over leveraged, you probably over leveraged on whatever were the losses. So if you take a step back and say, okay, I'm going to be, you know, determined and strong enough to say I'm going to use the same lot size on every trade. I'm going to use a 0.02 on every one of them. If there's 15 trades and you go 10-5 and use the same lot size, you're going to profit every week. That's the problem, is people decide that they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to over leverage because I get confidence in whatever this is, whether it's, you know, a signal or just whatever, like the momentum, and they over leverage on the wrong one, you know? And that takes a lot of patience to say, I'm going to trade the same exact one because you're like, I want to increase.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stay with the same thing until you've got to a point to where you can legitimately use on correct risk management, the correct lot size.
Yeah. And that brings back to a point that people, I think they just fail to understand that you're going to be compounding your account. Doesn't matter what lot size they're using. So when I see people over leveraging, I don't honestly, I kind of laugh about it because like people always over leverage, and you're kind of forgetting the key component that you are growing your account. You are growing your account, and the mindset from depositing your funds into your broker to thinking that you're gonna make $50K in 1 week, you're skipping major loopholes that you're supposed to stick on track. You're gonna get there, it's a marathon. So like a lot of people's mindset is just like, let's sprint. Like, this person did it, I'm gonna do it. And if your mind is not even there, how the hell are you gonna get there? You know? So like you can't just want to, set, like, yeah, you could set a goal and that's great. That's positive, right? But like, you got to be realistic on where your skill set is at.
Right.
Well,
and just like life is a marathon. This is a marathon, it's, you don't go through life fairly quickly. You don't go through college quickly. You don't start day one in college and they give you your degree, right? It's all work that gets involved with it. It's all lessons that are taken, and it's all, like you said, a marathon. Shout out Nipsey Hussle.
R.I.P.
Yep.
Yep.
The marathon continues. Yeah, absolutely. The marathon continues.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's for me, the number one thing that I find that I either attack as far as trying to get people to change their mindset within our community or on DMs, whether it's DMs in Discord or whether it's DMs in IG. Hey, Mike, I need your help. I don't mind helping you break it down psychologically, but you have to apply it.
Yeah.
If you don't apply it, you're going to be asking me the same question again.
Honestly, it's just a waste of time, and it's a waste of conversation that if you're not taking it, then it's just empty information that's going through one ear and then out the same ear.
Major facts. And there could be somebody that has that question that's not asking it or that did ask it, that if I'm addressing everybody's question as much as possible and there's 2 people that don't take that as a lesson, that's time and energy that I could be taking away from somebody who really wants to know this and who's really going to apply it. So it kind of sets themselves short. So for anybody that does ask me, or, if they ever ask my input on anything, I just ask, take it to heart, utilize it. Cause I've been there as the beginner. I've been there multiple times where, an account is blown, or I've been in drawdown or whatever it is. I've been there, so the experience is what's going to help you learn. And you're asking me for a reason.
Yeah.
So take it to heart. Listen to it. I'm only going to tell you the honest to God truth.
Yeah, I think that was a great example last week. I'm not going to say his name, but great example of what we talked about. Becoming very emotional, wasn't being patient, said that he was going to not trade anymore, then got right back into it. And I'm like, man, like just like watching from the background, I'm like, you're all over the place.
Yeah. Well, the 2 worst trades to take: a revenge trade and a chase trade.
Yeah.
Don't do them.
You out here, you don't want to be chasing trades. Like, it's not fun chasing a trade. Like,
that shows panic.
Yeah. Like, I think it was a few setups that I gave out on live. It was on EU, gold actually this morning, and came down, hit a nice buy limit, took off, came back down, played a little games, testing a lot of people's, emotions, that whole psychology behind it. And then, whoa, finally it took off, right? I didn't even know it took off. Yeah, I didn't even know it took off until you told me about it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even looking at my phone throughout the whole day. So, like, I was like, wow. Like, then you look at it and you're like, I rewarded myself.
Yep.
Like, just hanging in there, looking at the higher time frames, giving myself confirmations, and that's it.
Well, and the point of being a swing trader, if anybody wants to be a true swing trader, is to be able to set your limits, set your stops, set your trades after you've done your studying for 2 hours, set them, and forget them. Let your phone do its own thing. You're supposed to have your life back.
Yeah.
What's the point of having your life back if all you're going to do is look at your phone every 10 minutes?
Yeah, you don't want to
You
be you don't want to be that guy that goes on their phone and then you go on MT4, you're checking your trades, and then all of a sudden you're back in IG and you're scrolling people's lives, and you go back to your MT4. Yeah, I know Preston has done that multiple times.
Oh,
yeah.
call out,
Yeah,
Front
but,
Street.
No, but overall, like, we do that because, like, for the people that just, like, they're so excited, you have all the adrenaline, kicking in, and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to be in profit. Then you change that smile into a frown because you're in hella drawdown.
Right.
And then you wake up, and if you actually held on to the position, if you focus on what is the overall trend, using good risk management, that morning becomes very rewarding.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And what else? Any other nuggets that we could provide with? I mean, I kind of feel like it's a lot within people's own minds.
yeah,
you know?
like it's you versus you.
Yep.
Like when I'm trading, it's me versus myself. Could I get a better trade that I got in my last trade idea? And I think to myself, yes, I can. So I'm going to execute it, right? So allowing the market to come, feeling confident, enter into a trade, use a big ass lot, now capitalize on the whole damn trend.
Yep. And if it goes the opposite
Yeah.
way, what do we talk about when risk management is not paid attention to? It's gambling.
Yeah.
So if you want to gamble and you want to over leverage and take a trade, take that money out of your account and just
Yeah.
go sit at a blackjack table.
Yeah. I hate gambling. I find it so pointless, honestly. Like, I feel bad for all the people that just go out there smoking their cancer stick cigarettes, Oh my God, I hate that. Like, just sitting there, like, they don't even look happy. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, this is my life savings that's going to be washed away, and hopefully they get lucky. And it's just like, how about getting into and defining a skill set that you could actually teach to your generational of kids down the road, right? So you're actually helping, not only you're helping yourself out, but you're helping out your future son, daughter, not to be in the typical life that you had to do, like, grinding, sacrificing, like, all that stuff.
Right.
So now I'm very grateful, like, just even for the wins and the losses, like, my mood would never change. Like, I'm so grateful that I'd be like, damn, fuck. Like, I got a crazy ass skill set. I'm a fucking ATM machine.
Facts.
When people be like, oh yeah, we need $50K down payment, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do that in the day.
Yep.
Let
me go trade US 30 real quick.
Yeah. So, like, hold up, just give me less than 24 hours. Deadline.
The funny thing is, like, I actually said this the other day. I had like an impromptu session. Somebody that had come on for the first time asked me what my favorite pair was.
Yeah.
And
I honestly, I can't even answer that question anymore. Before, when I started, it was GJ. But, when you grow, and I've been trading for 5 years now, like, everything becomes your favorite pair.
it does.
Everything that moves, that gives you a nice, sexy entry. Like,
Yep.
yes, I do talk to my trades like that.
Yeah,
Sexy
absolutely.
entry. And then just capitalize on it. And then you just watch that MT4 just lit up blue.
Well, it was kind of funny because I don't ever list one specific one.
Yeah.
I always list at least 3.
Yeah.
Right. I think Toju was on that call. And what did I say on as my favorite one was US 30.
Yeah.
But you know what? We've been looking at US 30 for over a year.
Yeah.
So it's got to the point
It's
to where
funny,
I'm
time
like,
flies, right?
I'm like, yeah, a year already.
I know. Like, last December, we were trading it like crazy. And we're coming into, like,
Yeah, we're coming into Christmas season again.
yeah.
So, but it was funny because I had the reaction of people that were on the call. They were like, "Wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to read, but that's
Yeah.
because you put that time in and that patience. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, like we talked about, But for me to say, yeah, my favorite pair is either US 30 or GJ. They're high volatility, charts. They're high volatile currency pairs, and it's
Yeah.
like, why would I want to do that? Because it's fun
like,
for me. I've learned it.
It's not meant for the weak.
No.
At all.
It's not.
Because one bad entry, that could be your whole entire account. Like, and it's honestly, it's a big boy pair.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It is.
if you don't have a strong mindset behind it, then you're going to lose every single time.
Go hard or go home, though.
So,
And I'd rather go hard so I can go hard the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yep.
So if that go hard means not trading that day,
Then
but
don't
just
trade.
stepping back and watching.
Just watch everything fold and be like, damn.
Exactly.
So you telling me that if I actually watch and analyze this pair, this is where my potential entry would have been, and then you gain that confidence. You're like, damn, I got that.
Yep.
Watching it just move, like you're still gaining and obtaining that knowledge just by watching and seeing, rather than just, all right, let me back test, but you're focusing on a live market.
We should make a deal with Netflix, live trading at its finest, so people can just
Yeah,
watch it on Netflix.
that'd be pretty good.
Business idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Tune into Netflix so you can watch the US 30 move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that really covers about being patient, because it just tags along with everything. Being, mentally strong, being able not to be greedy, did you learn from your lessons? So I know that was a very, very, very big component just like the past 2 weeks. So
Yeah, major facts. Major facts. And the more new students that we get into, I think that is something that needs to be stressed a lot. So I like to talk about it on my calls as much as possible.
yeah.
Just because the more and more you hear it, the more and more that it's going to just be ingrained into somebody's brain, and they can say, well, you know what, Mike told me to be patient on this. Mike told me to be patient on this. So if I can instill that into a beginning trader to have that patience to start out with, then they're already starting out on the right foot, as long as they're taking it and running with it. So,
Yeah, most definitely.
yeah.
And all right, so there goes episode number 13 in the
Patience.
books, talking about patience. Definitely we're gonna have a really spicy topic for episode 14. 14, yeah, it's gonna be 14.
14.
Yeah,
Are you going to clue me into that next week or what?
I don't know. We're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors, shoot for it.
All right, that works.
Oh man, so yeah, so that's a wrap.
Yep.